Good evening. With the Ghana Learning Channel's News and Capsule for Thursday, September 23, 2021, I am Kingsley Bryan. Here's a look at some of the top stories we will be covering this evening. We'll tell you that the president says vaccines should not divide, as he urged world leaders in his inaugural UN in-person address. Then, Teachers' Welfare and Support Program launched in Region 2. More than 950 teachers in the region are expected to benefit. Then, airports and airstrips require vaccination card or a negative PCR test to be presented before travel. And in news from the region, Dr. Stacey Richards is UWI's newest Vice Chancellor, as she assumed the position of Vice Chancellor for Global Affairs. And on the international scene, a large collection of Roman coins found. The find is not only remarkable, but very valuable. Now for the news in detail. As countries around the world continue their COVID-19 vaccination campaigns using the vaccines that have been made available to them, President Dr. Irfan Ali has urged countries not to become divided based on the type of vaccines administered to citizens. The president made these utterances when he addressed world leaders on Thursday morning during the 76th session of the United Nations General Assembly at the United Nations headquarters in New York City. This was the president's inaugural in-person address to the UN. Given the ravaging effects of the pandemic, countries were forced to institute several measures to protect their human resource. As part of the global scientific response to this pandemic, vaccines were developed and ultimately rolled out. President Ali said, open quote, "The access to vaccines saw the world polarized. We must not now hurt our efforts at ending this polarization of access to vaccines by implementing measures that divide us and curtail our movement based on the type of vaccines our people took." End of quote. This may be the case with the Russian-made Sputnik V vaccine, which has not received approval from the World Health Organization, but has been a critical vaccine in Ghana's fight against the deadly virus. According to President Ali, the focus now should be on addressing vaccine hesitancy, which, according to the World Health Organization, refers to delay in acceptance or refusal of vaccines despite the availability of vaccine services. Then, the Education Ministry launched its Welfare and Support Program on the Essequibo Coast on Wednesday at the Anna Regina Multilateral Secondary School in Region 2. Education specialist Dr. Olato Sam, while addressing the gathering, said the initiative encompasses a comprehensive approach towards improving the overall circumstances in which teachers practice this profession. According to Sam, teachers will be provided with discounts in various services from the different sectors, such as electronics, telecommunications, retail goods, air transportation, household furniture, and appliances. Some of the benefits teachers will have in regard to transportation are that those traveling to Georgetown from outlying regions will be able to access discounts on airfares, as well as those utilizing the bus services. Meanwhile, Region 2 Regional Education Officer Nicola Matthews expressed gratitude to the ministry for the initiative. She noted that the initiative would benefit some 970 teachers in the region and would provide a range of discounts and various services not only in Essequibo, but also in the entire country. Head teachers of the various educational institutions, ranging from nursery to secondary level, also expressed heartfelt gratitude to the Ministry of Education for this timely initiative. And the National COVID-19 Task Force Secretariat has issued an advisory stating that all persons should be vaccinated or present a negative PCR test result when accessing all airports, aerodromes, and airstrips. The advisory stated that all local and foreign airline operators are required to be vaccinated and should be able to produce their vaccination card and official identification card to verify their vaccination status. Importantly, the advisory highlighted that these airline operators are responsible for ensuring that people who access their services are either vaccinated or have in their possession a negative PCR COVID-19 test result that is no older than 7 days. These requirements are in keeping with the updated COVID-19 emergency measures that were published in the official Gazette. As per these measures, adults are now required to be vaccinated to access public buildings and some private buildings that members of the public have lawful access to, including learning institutions. For unvaccinated people seeking to enter these buildings, an appointment must be made, and those people must produce a negative result from a PCR COVID-19 test taken within 7 days of the appointment. The task force advisory noted that a certificate of vaccine exemption from a fully registered medical practitioner would also be accepted. The Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Narain Singh, has stated that people who may have some medical conditions or who may have been receiving treatment, such as chemotherapy, are exempted from the vaccination and PCR testing requirements. And now we turn our attention to the world of sports. We'll tell you that table tennis player Miguel Wang, along with the senior Guyana female table tennis team, has qualified for the 2021 Senior Pan American Championships to be held in Salt Lake City, USA from November 13 to 19. Wang was listed by the International Table Tennis Federation as the lone Guyanese male qualified for the singles, while the females qualified as one of 4 representatives from the Caribbean. Guyana's male team is listed as the first reserve, followed by Jamaica. Meanwhile, the 21-year-old Wang, who was also qualified for the Junior Pan Am Games in Colombia from November 25 to December 5, is awaiting his visa to return to Germany. In Germany, he will attend Topspin Sport Tisch Tennis Center until the Senior Pan Am event in November. This second stint of high-performance training is compliments of the Guyana Olympic Association and members of Corporate Guyana. And that story was extracted and modified from the newsroom. And in news from the region, Dr. Stacey Richards Kennedy has been appointed interim Pro-Vice Chancellor for Global Affairs at the University of the West Indies. She assumed leadership of the regional university's global engagement portfolio effective August 1. The 2-year appointment will see Dr. Richards Kennedy leading the coordination of the internationalization and strategic global initiatives across the UWI system. The position was previously held by Ambassador Dr. Richard Bernal. He was, in April, appointed to the Leadership Council of the UN Sustainable Development Solutions Network, SDSN. Dr. Richards Kennedy has over 20 years of experience in multilateral negotiations, development management, and international finance. Before joining the UWI, she served as Assistant Resident Representative of the United Nations Development Programme for Trinidad and Tobago, Aruba, Curacao, and St. Martin, Chief Technical Advisor, Inter-American Development Bank, Consultant to the World Bank, and Program Specialist, UNESCO. Dr. Richards Kennedy co-chairs the International Steering Committee for the Center of Excellence for Oceanography and the Blue Economy at the UWI Five Islands campus, and is a founding member of the board of SUNY UWI Center for Leadership and Sustainable Development in New York. A national of Trinidad and Tobago, Dr. Richards Kennedy is fluent in Spanish, French, and English. During her career, she has built an expansive network of international partners across all geographic continents. That story was extracted and modified from Caribbean Loop News. And on the international scene, 2 amateur free divers found one of the largest collections of Roman coins in Europe off the east coast of Spain. Luis Lenz and Cesar Gimeno were diving off the island of Portixal in Zambia on August 24 when they found 8 coins. Before further dives by archaeologists returned another 45 coins, according to a press release from the University of Alicante on Tuesday. Scientists from the university's Institute of Archaeology and Historical Heritage then analyzed the perfectly preserved coins, dating them to between the end of the 4th century and the beginning of the 5th century. The coins were in such good condition that the inscriptions were legible, allowing the team to identify coins from the reign of a number of Roman emperors. 3 date from Valentinian I, 7 from Valentinian II, 15 from Theodosius I, 17 from Arcadius, 10 from Huronius, and there is one unidentified coin. Alongside the coins, divers found 3 nails, likely made from copper, as well as lead remains which could be from a severely deteriorated sea chest. Jaime Molina Vidal, professor of ancient history at the University of Alicante and leader of the team of underwater archaeologists, said this was one of the largest sets of Roman gold coins found in Europe. It's very significant, he said to CNN. It's enormously valuable. The coins were likely hidden by a wealthy local landowner who wanted to protect some of their money from barbarians who were invading and looting the Western Roman Empire at the time. And that story was extracted and modified from CNN. And that's our news broadcast for Thursday, September 23, 2021. Please join us for a rebroadcast tomorrow morning. On behalf of myself and technical teams, thanks for watching. Please stay tuned to our regular programming and observe all the necessary precautionary methods to fight off COVID-19. We're all in this together. Have a good evening.